I had to play a little bit of music. I don't know how it turned out, if it sounded good or not on your end, but
you got me started, honey. You got me started.
I know. It amused myself and Rajee. So, starring, I should say, my Southern Exposure Media Group LLC is the host network of My Southern Exposure, starring myself and Rajee Narinesingh. Do you want to say hello, Rajee?
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Are you all in the Christmas spirit yet? Well, let's say holiday spirit for all our Jewish viewers. Happy Hanukkah. And then we have Christmas, and then there's Kwanzaa, and then we have New Year's, and it's supposed to be a festive time, despite COVID and all the bullshit going on. Let's try and be happy.
Amen, sister, honey, child. I agree with you. I believe that I wanted to just remind people that it is the second season and we are at episode number 10. So we only have 2 more episodes left. And then you and I are going to be taking a break for
a hiatus.
A little, I wish. We're going to be taking a break. I should say we're going to give the people at home a break from seeing our faces. But I'm still going to be putting it out there for probably 2 or 3 weeks and just reminding people about all the good stuff that's going on and all the wonderful things that are planned for season number 3. So today is technically today is our 22nd show. So quite a big number. And I am so excited and so happy that everything is going well with the show. And I want to thank all of our viewers, watchers, supporters, everybody across the board. Thank you very much. So we're over the 75,000 mark for total views for the show. And I hope between now and the end of the year, we will get up to 100,000 viewers. It's been quite an interesting week. My derriere feels a little better. My back feels a little bit better. My head feels a little bit better. I have my moments where it gets good and then it doesn't. So I really don't know. I'm just kind of winging it and doing the best that I can. But we've got quite the show lined up for you at home, everybody. And I hope that you will enjoy it. There's a lot of really hot topics going on. First of all, I want to start off with something pretty funny. It's actually not funny. It's more a bit ironic, I think would be the correct word. Rudy Giuliani, I call him the leaker, because with the bad hair dye going down the side of his face, the leaker. Mr. Leaker, apparently, after his last court session, in case you missed, Rajee, there was a court case with an absolutely wretched individual sitting next to him. And he he just farted right in the middle of a court proceeding. I don't know if you know about it or not, but it was absolutely the highlight of my week. Seeing that on the set.
Who farted? Giuliani farted or the person?
No, right in the middle of a court deposition, Giuliani farted. Oh. And then the girl looked at him like, so that's my highlight for the week is Giuliani's fart, personally. The sad part is that anti-mask wearers feel as though they can never get sick And wouldn't it be interesting? I should say it is interesting, and a little bit of, maybe it might teach some people, but to be honest with you, these people who think that they can't get sick, and then when they do get sick, they still disagree with the idea of wearing a fucking mask. So he apparently has COVID now. I can't picture a better person to qualify for that virus on the face of the planet besides the current dictator, the current orange-faced monster, who'll probably be taken out of the White House in handcuffs soon, along with all of his evil children. So first of all, did you know about the whole fart situation? And second of all, what do you think about all these anti-maskers out there who don't want to wear a mask, and now they're all getting sick and sick and sick and sick and sick across the board?
Well, I didn't hear about the Giuliani fart. Oh my God! If I was that girl, I probably would have given him like this dirty look. If looks could kill, he would have been 18 feet under. I know it's a part of nature, but it's one of my pet peeves. And especially like, oh my God, don't let me be on a date with like a first date with a guy and he farts. Oh, I mean, you know how we all have like that thing that just turns us off? And so like I have a pet peeve about that. I don't know. Anyway, I don't even, well, that's a whole nother show. But I didn't hear about the Giuliani fart. My God, that must have been funny though to watch it. I probably would have been cracking up if I had seen it. Well, you know, the guy's older, and when you get older, you know, I hear the body doesn't, I should say you lose control of some of your body functions, maybe. But yeah, so the COVID situation, listen, if these anti-mask wearers are getting sick, right? You would think that it would tell the rest of the group, okay, whoa, we need to start wearing our mask and get with it. And, these people to me are just in denial, and they're almost hell bent. You know how, like, and I think everyone can relate to this. You know how, like, you're wrong about something, but like, or you get caught doing something wrong and you get angry because you got caught, or you get defensive, like, well, so what? What are you talking about? So what? I did it. Or yeah, that's right. I'm not going to wear my mask. Who cares if everyone's getting sick? And I think that's like kind of the attitude. That's, at least that's how it's coming across. But when you have patients that are in intensive care dying, saying that the virus is a hoax, I mean, come on, so big time denial. Listen, I wear my mask wherever I go. Maybe it'll help, maybe it won't, but what the experts are saying is it does help to protect us. And so why not do it just to be safe, or try your best to be safe, So anyway, it's a trip. It's a trip. Well, look, Herman, what was Herman, the guy, oh God, I can't remember his name now. And he went to a Trump rally and then he ended up dying.
Was it Kane?
Yeah, huh?
Was it Kane, Herman Kane, or no?
Yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that there are so many people out there right now just spewing information. And a lot of it is conjecture. And what we do with our show that's completely different is that we talk about things that people can pull up on their own, verify, confirm with, and then we give our perspective. But we don't definitively say, this is what's happening and this is what's happening. And there's a lot of people out there right now who are basically falsely claiming that they definitely know what's going on, and they give loose information but they're like directing people what to do. A perfect example with this would be the governor of Georgia. He was on the news earlier today. My favorite channel when I wake up in the morning, it's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, because it depends. If I wake up at 7, then I see what's her name? My goodness gracious, Gayle King. Gayle King and Coppola, and then the other guy. I've talked about them before. The white younger guy has really sexy legs when he crosses his legs and he turns to the side. He's so handsome. And then the older guy got his little spectacles on, and then Gayle King is sitting like in the center of the table. But I like the interaction between the three of them. And even though they're talking about things that are unfortunate, they're talking about things with a level head and not passing judgment, but giving information and being entertaining to try to kind of calm down the situation because it's so messed up. But first thing I wake up every morning after Rick brings in the coffee or his mom brings in the coffee, sometimes I get up and I make the coffee. It just depends. Whoever wakes up first, it's your job to make the coffee. But I'd like to watch that show because it's not dissimilar to what you and I do, I think, Rajee, where we talk about the things that are important. We don't make things, we don't candy coat things, we don't blow smoke, quote unquote. But we also look at the good side of things, but you have to address the negative side of things also as well. But that's like my favorite thing to do in the morning is when I wake up to do that. And the fact is now recently they started to showcase people on the show. The guy with the glasses, the older guy, he showcases people on the show like every other show, I think, because it's daily. So, and then he focuses on a regular, average, everyday person, not some musician, not some politician, not some millionaire or billionaire, like Joe Schmo from Kokomo. What happened? And then they go through a whole story about the person, what happened to them, when they pass, they say their name, they share their story. And I really enjoy that they're at least trying to do that. And I need to get back on top of that because I used to do that before, you know that, Rajee, with our show. Mm-hmm. And I've kind of gotten behind on it. And at this point now there's 18,000. Well, at this point now there's 19,000 people that have deceased in the state of Florida. And we're well over the 1 million mark of total cases in Florida. So it's a scary time for all of us. And it's just one of those things where this whole anti-masker thing, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous and it's just offensive. It's like, if it helps, we don't know really what's going on, if the mask helps or if it doesn't help, but the fact is at least you try. At least you give it some effort, because it's not that difficult to just put on a mask. You run into a place for 5 minutes, you run out. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And then think about the workers are inside of the grocery store, the gas station, or the bank, and they have to wear it all day. Or the EMS people, I should say, the people in the hospitals, they wear it all day and they wear multiple masks. They don't just wear one mask. They have their mask and then a mask and then a mask and then another mask, a whole bunch of masks. If they can breathe and save somebody's life wearing a mask, then I think you can just put on a mask for 10 minutes to go inside to a grocery store and buy a pack of cigarettes.
Hello.
It doesn't seem like it's that difficult.
Yeah, true.
In reference to the masking thing, I know you said that you always wear yours, and I always wear mine. At this point, I've come to the part where if I see a person in a place where they don't have a mask, I don't go in.
Oh,
I won't at all. And if I see a person without a mask, I'll ask them nicely, is there some specific reason why you don't have a mask on? I don't put on your mask. I don't yell it, or be nasty about it. But what do you think, like, where's that fine line, Rajee, where it seems like such a simple thing, but some people have health reasons why they could quote unquote qualify to not wear a mask. But then we have Ron Dixaton, who doesn't want to do a statewide mandate to enforce the mask wearing. And it's one of those things where there's a lot of people out there who still think that this virus is fake or made up or hoaxed. But even if it's fake, made up, or hoaxed, let's say 50% of the numbers are right and 50% are wrong. You're still talking about a lot of people that got some kind of an illness. What do you think about where the fine line is about how to navigate through it with the mask situation in a situation? Have you ever had it happen so far where you didn't feel comfortable or left?
Not really. I've been around people that haven't worn it. You pick and choose your battles. As long as the person isn't like up in my space, I'm not gonna like say anything and confront them. We're all adults here, and they know what's going on. Unless you've been under a rock for the last damn 8 months or 9 months, 10 months, you know the situation. So, I just do what I need to do and get out. Like if there's someone that doesn't have one on, I just do what I need to do and I go about my business. But yeah, I don't get it. And I think a lot of it boils down to numbers and statistics. There's over 300 million and something people here in this country. So people are like, well, a million people, 300, like that's how they're looking at it. I think a lot of people like, well, 300 million to a million. Like, what statistically is that? Now, when you break down and look at the lives of these people, okay, and you break it down, that's when it becomes, like, to me, more powerful in the sense that, oh my God, like, this was a guy or a girl, a woman or a mother, or a father or whatever. These were people that had lives and families, and so it just becomes more profound and powerful. But when you're looking at just numbers, then you're like, statistically, how much percentage is it? And I don't think that's the right way to look at it, but I think that's why some people feel like, well, I think that's why some people aren't taking it serious. Not everyone, but some people aren't taking it serious. Yeah.
Well, it's actually interesting that you bring up about it just being numbers, because for some people it is just numbers. And you might have to come back to me so I can find the documents. I discussed it with you before the show, actually yesterday or the day before. I want to address the underserved prison community in the United States. And I know people are going to be like, oh, why does it matter? Blah, 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 yada, yada. Just because you're in prison, hello, hi, I've been there. Just because you're in prison doesn't mean you're a horrible person. It means you made a mistake. It does not mean that you should die because some person wants to get their nails done or their hair did, or they got to go to the bar and have a shot, or they got to take a trip because they're tired of being inside the house all day. So they got to come down to Florida. They got to come down to Florida. They got to go to Atlanta. They got to do whatever they got to do because they just can't deal with things as a grown person. I'm going to find the actual numbers, but the numbers are really scary. First of all, because there's four. There's three. Everyone wants to focus on the elderly first. The elderly and the kids. The elderly and the kids. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I messed that up because the hierarchy, according to your value in the United States, apparently, if you are a star, a famous person, then if you get sick and you die, it's the end of the world. Oh my goodness. It's the end of the world, whatever the reason is. And then, okay, so how many bubbles do we need? So we got the football bubble, we got the basketball bubble, we got all these bubbles for all these sports. And then we have healthcare workers in the hospitals. And then we have EMS people, the fire and the police. And then after that, then we're talking about the nursing home people. And then after that, we talk about the kids in school. And then after that, we talk about the health compromise. They don't talk about people in prison. And not every person who's imprisoned is a horrible person. And even if they are imprisoned, they're serving their time. They don't deserve to die imprisoned, and they might have been imprisoned for a reason that wasn't even because of what they did wrong. They might have made a bad decision, someone else made a mistake, and then they just didn't turn state's evidence. So then it's the reason why they're sitting in the cell.
Right.
So the part that I have a problem with is where we're talking about all of these other people that are sick, and we're focusing on this and we're focusing on that, and no one's really talking about the people that are imprisoned. And to be quite frank, I'll share a little story. My brother was in jail, had been on and off his entire life, and was a absolutely wonderful person. His soul was a wonderful person. His heart was a wonderful person. Made lots of mistakes. Whatever. Everyone makes mistakes. And unfortunately, he ended up passing because he could not get a surgery done in time, and ended up dying in a hospital, in a prison, during a time period where he could have been released. He didn't pose any threat to anybody except himself. He didn't pose any threat. And then we have, we have the Hamburglar, or whatever his name is, the guy who looks like the cartoon character Roger Stone. He gets a pardon. He gets to come out and flap his duck lips, and he gets to walk around. And then all the other ones that are getting pardoned. And then some people end up dying in a prison because they can't get the proper surgery or access to health care. It costs, I believe, if I remember correctly, $45,000 to $60,000 per prisoner to house, protect, feed, all that kind of jazz for every single prisoner in the United States in federal prisons. In the state of Florida, there's 143. Remember this one because I have it printed off. And I hope you talk for a couple minutes so I can find the documents, because you and I discussed this earlier and I want to have the documents pulled off to the side. There's 143 prisons, state-run prisons in Florida. There are 7 private prisons in the state of Florida. So the part that I have a problem with is you committed a crime, and then some person comes in and brings in COVID because, oh, I don't wear a mask. I don't have to because the orange monster said I don't have to. So then I don't have to. It's fine. It's going to just disappear overnight. It's fake. It's fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news. Economy. Rajee?
Well, it's just a reflection of how life is, in the sense that life isn't fair. It's, there isn't equity and equality across the board. And so, unfortunately, there are people, for whatever reason, that will get preferential treatment. And then there's ones that are basically forgotten. And the prison population happens to be one of those populations where I think oftentimes they're forgotten. I don't think that you can just like you were just saying, pretty much, just because someone's in prison, that doesn't define that person's whole beingness and life. I mean, there's a small group that probably, yes, need to be under the prison. They're just bad people that just keep doing things over and over again, and horrible things like murdering and raping and all of that, and that sort of thing. True menace to society. But I think a lot of the population are people pretty much like everyone else that somehow got caught up in something, made a mistake, was around the wrong crowd. Unfortunately, there's some innocent people sitting in prison because they were uh, falsely accused, and ended up being prosecuted in an unjust system. I mean, there's so many different reasons. So yeah, I think it's really a shame, and it's unfair. But it just comes with the territory. Society looks at it like you committed a crime, put them in prison, and basically forget about them. Like just put them in prison, throw away the key, and forget about them. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it needs to be looked at. You found the statistics.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. And I didn't mean to stop you from talking. That's for sure. If you wanted, it's just one of those things because it hits so close to home. Because number one, I was imprisoned, and number two, my brother was in jail when he died, and it hits really close to home for me. So it's part of the reason why it matters to me so much, and not to get hokey. So I'm just going to talk about actual facts. And people at home, you can pull this information up yourself. I have things broken down, and it's kind of, not kind of, it's all about numbers, that's the sad part. So I broke things down in several different ways, and I suggest that you at home go ahead and do a search, whatever web search you want to use, because I don't want to say whichever one I use, because you have to choose your own search engine. And hopefully at some point in time, we'll have our own search engine for us. So according to 2020, there are 738,400 inmates in the United States of America. That's the first thing. 197,659 of those have contracted COVID. Okay, so first of all, you're in jail. You're not around anybody, and then you get sick. You're in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty much isolated. I could practically draw the designs of the Bureau of Prisons all across the United States, how they're laid out, and all these little pods and everything else. You're basically in a room about the same size as my office, which is kind of ironic, but I love my office. I didn't like the jail stuff I was in. But 197,659 prisoners have COVID as of 2 or 3 days ago. So, and out of those, 1,454 have died. That's 1,454 people dead from a virus that we knew about since 2019, but it was downplayed, and it was going to go away, and it was never going to touch our shores and everything else. The numbers for the deaths, it correlates with also the number of cases, which is kind of creepy, but it's also expected. So in this instance, Florida is at the top of the list. So it's Florida, Texas, California. Those are the 3 top states for the current COVID cases anyways. It's not in the exact same order, because right now it's California, Texas, and Florida for the cases. But for the deaths for prisons, it's Florida, number 1. 187 people died in Florida, in prisons in Florida. In Texas, 168. In Ohio, ironically, where I have also lived, 111. California, 83. So I think it's just interesting that it's not interesting. It's sad. We have to figure out a way to fix this because all the injustices that have been done with racial profiling, putting people in prison, um, anti-LGBTQ, misogyny. There's so many different things that our numbers are being controlled, and we have to come up with a way to react and stand up peacefully. It's going to be hard because we can't let our baser instinct come out. Because to be honest with you, I'm like ready to fight, but I'm not a fighter. So, I mean, look at how pretty this face is. I can't have this get hurt.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You got to take care of the face.
my teeth might need a little bit of work, a little bit of whitening, and a little bit of straightening, and it might need a little bit of dabs here to take care of some age spots or whatever. But I don't think I look so bad for 47.
Hey.
I don't think I look too bad. I mean, I got all my hair, except for it's not combed properly. Because I got the hat on.
But it's a cute haircut.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ricky cut his hair, and I helped him finish it. Yes, 2 days ago.
Pretty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky. He cut his hair, and then I helped him finish it 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and then he helped me do mine last night. But all joking aside, this whole inmate thing is very upsetting to me. And also the nursing home thing is upsetting to me. And also the kids in school, it's upsetting. All of them are upsetting, to be honest with you. I'll go over the nursing facility stuff shortly, but I need to take a moment because I got a little tickle in my throat. So it's not COVID related. It's because I swallowed something down the wrong pipe a couple seconds ago while you were talking earlier. So I'm going to
get some water.
Well, yeah, it's definitely water. I got it. So back over to you for a moment to follow up with the prison thing as you slug down the water and chug it. If you want to talk about nursing homes, because that's good, because I have numbers. What do you think about the whole situation with nursing homes? How did that even happen?
Again, nursing homes. I mean, there's something about like the elderly in Western culture where oftentimes it's not like revered in Eastern culture, like how the elderly is like a thing that is looked on as like a special thing. Someone that's lived life and they have wisdom and they're I don't think here in the Western part of the world, after a certain point, it's kind of looked on like, oh God, they're old. Let's put them away. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I think you all get what I'm trying to say. It's almost like a burden. And sometimes it's a necessary thing because, for safety issues, if a person can no longer take care of themselves or at least somewhat take care of themselves, it can become a safety thing where you have to put them in a home. But once the people are in homes, unfortunately, these homes, the care is lacking in many of the nursing home facilities on so many different levels. And that's why, like, if you have a relative that, I mean, this is prior to COVID and after COVID. Right now, I know if you have a relative in a nursing home, you can't go visit. But prior to COVID, I think that was really an important thing because it made the staff know that this person has family that cares about them. And so it kind of, I think, made them a little more conscientious in the way they cared for that patient, as opposed to someone that their family doesn't come to see them. The attitude is, well, hell, no one cares about them. Their family's not coming to see them. So we'll just do the minimal, and half-assed, to use a slang. I mean, just just be half-ass about it. I've been to nursing homes. I've had family members that have been nursing homes, friends, or I should say friends, mothers that I've gone to nursing homes and visit. And I mean, it's not, let's face it, it's not a pleasant environment, really. It isn't. It's pretty to me depressing and sad. They try to make it sometimes a little better than others, but so I say all of that to say, so it doesn't surprise me with COVID. It doesn't surprise me because a lot of these workers that work there, first of all, they're not getting paid, especially the CNAs. They're not really getting paid all that great. And, a lot of them, they don't really want to be there doing that work. They just do it because they need a job. And so, like, I swear, I I think about like the different jobs I had throughout my life, and no matter what, I have to say, like, I gave it my all. Like, I don't know, like you go through a drive through nowadays, people are so fucking half ass about the way they serve you. This attitude, like, oh, fuck this job. Now, listen, I had a lot of jobs I didn't like. I didn't want to be there, but I still went in and I gave it, my full, I gave it 100%. I gave it my best, and and this thing of attitude, where's the customer service? So you see that lackadaisical attitude at a lot of nursing homes, and they're overworked because they don't have enough staff. And from the staff's perspective, you can't blame them to an extent, because if you have like all these patients to attend to and you're overworked, how can you really go the extra mile for a patient when you're being pulled all over the place? So unfortunately, just like the prison situation, it's a really sad situation, and something needs to be done, but I don't know. I mean, it's so systematic. And then I think about LGBTQ people in nursing homes. Dear Lord, God forbid, I don't even know. I mean, I guess I'll cross that bridge if I ever come to it, but I just can't even fathom myself being in a nursing home as a pre-op transsexual or a post-op transsexual. Sexual, I don't know. Maybe by that time, people will be more sensitive and they'll have sensitivity training and stuff. But it does concern me. It worries me. So yeah, that whole thing with COVID, when I heard what was happening with nursing homes, it didn't surprise me at all.
Okay, so first of all, no, okay, so I don't know which thing to say first. So I have to use my words properly. First of all, once you're ready to go to a home, you are welcome here. That's the
Oh,
first.
that's so sweet.
So
Thank
that's
you
the
for
first.
that.
You don't need to be going to no nursing home. We will be more than happy to have you come and be with us. We will have 3 little rascal scooters. It'll be you and me and Ricky's mom, God willing, if she's still around, which I hope that she is. And then, because I'm not a big person on the whole, I don't like the idea of nursing homes at all. I think there's always another option. It takes work, time, and effort. It's not easy, but nothing in life is easy. And speaking from personal experience, we went to Ohio and got Rick's dad and his mother from the nursing home because they were not happy 6 or 7 years ago. And luckily, Rick's dad passed while he was with us 3 years ago. But at least he had the opportunity to be with his wife in a house and not be in a nursing home. But at the very end, it was dictated that it was a different situation where he had to get some care in like the last week or so. And now we still take care of his mother. And I think that that's just the right thing to do. Personally, that's from my perspective. I know I never want to live in a nursing home. I will just start swimming in the middle of the ocean. I mean, I'm just going for a swim, folks. And then either God's going to make me float or God's going to make me sink, because I'm not going to be dying in a nursing home or in a hospital by myself. I'd rather be in nature, or ideally with my partner of over 11 years, side by side at the exact same moment. But we know that that's very highly unlikely. But the fact is that that's just everyone has their own preference. But you got a space at the Jory Hotel, the Jory Hotel, the Joe Rick Hotel, nursing home.
Slash
As
nursing home.
soon as we have a bed become available, we're definitely,
Slash assisted living facility.
or just make some extra space.
Well,
Well,
I want to talk about something else. I want to change the topic.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that's about to happen that's a once in a lifetime event. Once in a lifetime worldwide event that it hasn't happened since 800 years ago. And on the 21st of this month, 12/21/2020, yes, we will see what is being called the Christmas star. They also said it's like comparable to the Star of Bethlehem. And what it is it's not actually a star. It's two planets aligning, Jupiter and what's the other one? Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn. They like basically sync up. So and because of that, it creates an effect of this big, humongous, quote unquote, Christmas star. And so none of us here on the planet has ever seen this, because it the last time it happened was 800 years ago. And it's not going to after the 21st, it won't happen for hundreds of years again. So it'll be a one-time deal. And when stuff like that happens, it's so, to me, it just makes me stop in my tracks, and I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. Like, so I'm going to definitely go out on the 21st and view the quote unquote Christmas star, because it's a once in a lifetime event. I'm excited.
I'm excited also as well. And to just let people know, what they also said was that leading up to it, like probably from now until then, you're going to start to see the two dots get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. So you're going to actually be able to see them all get closer together. And if I remember,
they're calling it a conjunction.
Yes.
Conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn.
Conjunction function. Conjunction function. What function? Wasn't that a song?
Conjunction, what's your function?
Right. I was just thinking that. I was like trying to remember that song, because it's a long time ago. Oh, by the way, I took my hat off and I was trying to make my curly cues look nice. I hope you all.
Very nice. Very beautiful.
Yes. Very, very Latino.
Yes.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué tú quieres, papi? So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be an event, and I would suggest that everyone try and see it. Try and see it. Look out your window. Go outside, because I'm sure it's going to be spectacular.
I sure hope so. But the thing that I'm kind of curious about is if the weather is going to participate with us down here. But from what I understand, it's visible all around the entire world. So hopefully there won't be a lot of clouds in sight that night, so we can see it. But you're going to be able to see it happen as it's getting up to it, and then also as they start to part away from each other. So you probably have like a 2 or 3 day window where it's just brighter and brighter and brighter. But it's going to be the brightest thing that is out there. So that will be a good thing. In reference, I just want to touch back quickly on the numbers so that people know there are 1.246, I should say 1,246,079 people that are in nursing facilities in the United States. And then 331,904 have COVID. There are an additional 164,944 suspected cases. And at this point, 2 or 3 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, 69,872 deaths. So clearly, you have two confined situations where people are getting sick from something that they shouldn't be getting sick from. It's just one of those things where, like, when people say that it's not real, that it's a hoax and all that kind of jazz, I don't have any patience for it at all. I apologize. I got a little distracted. My little dog, apparently her butt itched, so she had to drag it across the front entrance doormat. And I'm sharing too much, but I don't know exactly what her problem was, but that's the reason why I kept looking down. And this is one of those shows where whether it's good, bad, or ugly, I'm going to share.
Yes, of course, because we keep it real.
Oh, we definitely do keep it real. That's for show. That's for shizzle my nizzle.
Oh, God. Oh, what are we going to do with Mr. Joseph?
I'm too much, apparently. I'm way too much. I have no idea how anyone puts up with me, to be honest with you. One of the other good things to talk about is one of the most recent things is this time of year, there's a lot of people out doing really great things for the community in every single city across the United States and around the world. So I'd like to shift gears a little and get your perspective about holiday giving, what your lines are with holiday giving, what your involvement is, and what you think about. It's kind of it's kind of interesting because and everyone else knows what we do for the holidays, but we do it year round. But I just kind of drum up a little bit more support during the holidays to just get funding from other people. But this whole idea of, I'm dropping off a bag of food and these are the people I'm giving it to. Like that kind of a thing. And I shouldn't be judging, and I'm not judging, but the same fact is that you can do it and just do it on the side. You don't have to have a photo with the people who are getting the help.
Got it. I see what you're saying.
That's the part where it's like, you can just do it and you can drum up the support for it and then just do it and then just let it go. You don't have to
exploit it. Is that?
I don't know the right word for it. It's just like the person who's getting the help or asks for the help or needs the help doesn't want that. I can think of times when I needed help. I don't want someone to take a photo of me needing help.
I think.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What are you giving thing and then all that?
Well, okay, so I think most people that are in need of help, they pretty much, I think, we all have our pride, and you put your pride aside to get the assistance that you need. And I think most people don't want to be put on blast, for lack of a better slang or phrase, when they're receiving some sort of aid or help. But on the flip side too, I think that what it does do, and there's probably a nice middle ground and balancing act. Like, I don't know if you have to be so exploitive with it, but you could also like maybe take pictures of the dinners that you have prepared to give out, or the goodie bags that you have, line them up, or do something, take pictures in that way, so that you promote other people to do the same thing. So like, I think there's the pro to, I guess, putting it on blast, and like, I get, for lack of a better words, advertising that you're giving, is that you show other people, hey, this is what I'm doing, and you could probably do it too and help some other people. So so yeah, I think there's onto it, but you can find probably that middle ground where you don't have to like exploit the people that are receiving the help, but find ways to still promote what you're doing. Like, like I said, like taking pictures of maybe the gift bags that you got together, or the dinners that you have set up, and then caption it like, a time for giving, or, the season for giving, and explain what you're doing. I'm going down to my neighborhood, whatever, I'm going to be feeding 20 families, but you don't have to put the families on blast. So there's a way to do it and not exploit people at the same time.
It's actually kind of ironic that you say it that way, because that's almost exactly what we did.
Okay.
Exactly what we did with our website. And you said it, and clearly, I don't think that you've gone to the website and saw what it was like. I don't think,
Yeah.
because I don't think you have.
I think
based on
yeah,
I might have sent you a picture.
I think
yeah.
Me a picture. Yeah.
But that's basically what we did. That is exactly what we did. And it's not like what we do is like the best thing, but it's just like, when I see this like gratuitous kind of thing, or like I've seen so many of these videos, like the UPS guy, or I should say, just in general, the package delivery person. I guess that's the appropriate term to use, the package delivery person. And then they take a video of the package delivery person. They have these envelopes. So like, they ask them questions, and then if they get an answer, they give them an envelope, and then they give them another envelope, and then they give them another envelope, and they're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I think it undermines the integrity of just giving, personally. That's my perspective. If you give, you give. You don't need any credit. You just do it. There might be some thanks that are given and whatnot, but you don't have to immortalize forever in the world the person who you're helping. That might be that person's absolute worst day. That might be their bottom line, where they absolutely horrible. I've seen a lot of videos and things on TV and things on the internet where people are doing good things, but then they're immortalizing other people's bottom line, their worst feeling. It's nice that they're doing what they're doing, and it does bring attention to the idea of giving, which is good. But I think that people could possibly come up with a different way of doing it with a little bit more respect, because you never know when you're going to be up here and then you go straight down to the basement. You never know. You make one bad stock choice. You could be a billionaire and then you become a millionaire. You could be a millionaire and then become a regular person. You could become a regular person and then be on the street. There's so many different variables depending on what your choices are that you make. And I know I haven't been the millionaire yet, knock on wood, but I know that it's in my future. That's for sure. And when it comes, I'm going to make it rain. I'm gonna 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 make it rain. I don't need to have all that. I don't need to have all that. I got a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with a whole bunch of problems, but it's good enough for me and my partner and his mother and our 2 dogs and our cat and our 12 fish. So it might not be perfect, but it's good enough. And my car isn't brand new, but it gets me around.
Yeah.
I think you might have had a sparkle fall in your left eye because I can see that one eye twinkling.
Oh,
Did you get something in your eye?
I kind
Is
of
it,
oh,
is,
yeah.
no, your one eye keeps going down.
Yeah.
Is it bothering you?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Something got in it.
The one keeps blinking,
This one.
and I know you're not flirting with me. Yeah, that one. That one keeps blinking at me, and I know you're not winking because I know I'm not sexy enough for you. I'm too old.
And just for the record, I'm not high, y'all. Probably some makeup got in my eye or something. It's irritated. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. So, and I just want to say, there's many different ways to give. You know, for me, I started giving when I was like in high school by doing community service work. I volunteered for the Red Cross and the local hospital and the United Way. And I did this, it was free, you know, volunteer work. I didn't get paid for it. That's a way you can give. Giving isn't always giving money. You know, you can do different things to give, and you can give one-on-one. You can give to a group. You can give to an organization. I mean, there's so many different ways to give and different levels of giving. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But on that note, I don't know. This eye might be ready to to sign off. I'm blinking too much.
Well, you know, there's Blinky. Isn't Blinky one of the things in Pac-Man? Blinky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. It's understood. It's fine. We have a lot more to talk about next week, and hopefully my technical difficulty won't be the same next week.
Yes, hopefully your technical difficulty will be sorted out. And my eye, that I got something in it. I don't know, maybe something squirted it. No.
Well, that's actually part of what I was thinking. Like, who was over before you got on camera?
I'm going to get you. I'm innocent until proven guilty.
In a court of law.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was the president, I would pardon you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Whatever you've done bad in the past, it does not matter.
At least I know I'm worthy of a pardon from somebody.
Oh, pardon me. I mean, pardon you. Pardon me. Pardon me pardoning you. I would definitely pardon you, that's for sure. I just want to thank everybody at home. I want to remind everybody to go to www.weegollc.com. That's WEEGO, like
We go!
LLC, or like Rajee says, we go LLC.com. You can go ahead and click on the little button at the top that says We Go Cares if you're interested to help local families in need in the Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Middle River Terrace area. We want to try to help hopefully 40 people eat. We got 36 that we helped for Thanksgiving. I'm hoping we can at least beat that number for Christmas and also give gifts to the kids as well as the moms and dads or whoever takes care of them for Christmas. We will be making deliveries December 21st through the 23rd. So you have plenty of time to be able to donate and support our local endeavor with WeGoLLC.com. I also want to remind people to visit my Southern Exposure Media Group, LLC.com. That's our network. We will be updating a whole bunch of more information shortly after the new season. We've got a little bit of time off to prepare and get some more content updated. And then I also want to remind people about a couple of other websites. So don't forget to visit Blue Oceans, that's plural, artifacts.com. It's blueoceanartifacts.com. And as well, you should check out Rajee-Narinesingh.com, in addition to myfriendlybarter.com. Those are the websites that I'd like to try to help promote. And I created a new one, but we'll wait till next week for me to tell people about it. So I want to have everything in order properly before I tell everyone about it. But it is a non-mask wearer tracker website.
Doesn't surprise me.
I felt it was necessary, so I just had to do it. Can't help myself. It's time for those of us who have been kind and patient and caring to be able to band together and do whatever we can to help show people how important it is to respect each other's privacy, but also be helpful. So I want to thank all of our viewers. If you want to get a hold of me, it's Joseph at mysouthernexposure.site. I'm going to let Rajee close out the show while she blinks and winks at you.
See, this is an example of the person I am. My eye was bothering me pretty much most of the day, and I still showed up. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I will say I could have very well said, you know what? No, I can't do it this week. Get someone else. Get another tranny. But I didn't. And so, that's like, I actually sat here thinking, God, Rajee, you pushed yourself today to do the show when you really probably should have sat it out. So excuse my blinking, everyone, but I'm here, and I still had my 2 cents to give. So I hope that you all enjoyed what I had to say, at least. And on that note, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week, hopefully, if this side doesn't start blinking. Who knows? Then I'll be out of commission. But on that note, I just want to wish everyone love, happiness, peace, good health, prosperity, and many wonderful blessings. Oh, and a serendipitous existence. How do you like that word? See, even with blinking eyes, I still can speak really, really, really great words. I have a vocabulary, don't I?
You have quite the vernacular, that's for sure.
Thank you so much.
Well, first of all, thank you for even jumping on the call today for the show, because I didn't realize you were having some eye issues. I wish you would have told me that earlier.
Well, I'm the type of person that I try not to let things like that stop me. I'm a determined individual, and so what, my eye was hurting a little bit or irritating me, not a big deal. Like, I still felt like I could do it. But anyway, yeah, that's I just had to say that, because as I was doing the show, I was thinking, damn, Rajee, you push yourself all the time. Like, instead of just saying, I can't do it, And so maybe this is a lesson today. Maybe I should really bow out more often. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the good thing is that we have only 2 episodes left. Hopefully between now and next Monday, your eye will start to feel better. My suggestion is some Visine.
Oh, I've been, honey, you're late. I've been using Visine all day.
Well,
Anyway,
after you get a little rest, you'll be right as rain in 2 or 3 days.
I hope so.
All right. thank you so much for coming on the show today, Rajee. And I hope your eye feels better. I'm going to try to do some prayers
Thank
for
you.
you and focus on your eye ball. I'll focus on both of your eyes because I don't know which one it is because it's kind of hard for me to know which one because it reverses. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's right or left or whichever it is. So I will be saying some prayers for you tonight for your eyeballs so that they will heal.
Thank you. I'm just a mess. I went from my tits 2 weeks ago to my eyes now. What's next?
No, I mean, if you think about it, I broke my ass, my back, and my crack.
That's true.
My
Hey.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, I guess misery loves company at this point.
Hey. Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much at home. If you want to get a hold of Rajee, it's Rajee at mysouthernexposure.site. That's RAJEE at mysouthernexposure.site. If you have any suggestions or comments, concerns, show ideas, or anything that we can talk about, please make certain to contact us directly so we can talk about it on the show. Once again, we will be back on December 14th between 3 to 5 p.m. It depends. Might be 3, might be 2:45, might be 4, might be 6. You don't know, really know, but that's just how it is. But you will all be watching the show. At this point, we know that. And we are so thankful for all of you watching. Thank you once again. We will see you next week. Aww. Rajee, I'm so sorry that